Let's talk about US President Joe Biden, shall we? His memory is being brought into question after a special counsel described him as an elderly man with a poor memory. It's after an investigation found he mishandled top secret files and couldn't remember key life events, including being vice president. Special counsel Robert Hur says this forgetfulness would make it hard to bring criminal convictions, but praised the president for cooperating fully. Here's President Biden's confusing the presidents of Egypt and Mexico at a press conference this week.
As you know, initially, the president of Mexico, Sisi, did not want to open up the gate to allow humanitarian material to get in. I talked to him. I convinced him to open the gate. My memory is not good. My memory is fine. My memory, take a look at what I've done since I become president. None of you thought I could pass any of the things I got passed. How'd that happen? You know, I guess I just forgot what was going on.
Mr. President.
Ouch. Right, joining me now is US political analyst Eric Ham. Eric, my favourite part of the week is talking to you, I have to confess. Thank you very much for joining us this Saturday afternoon. Eric, that wasn't really proving anything that he wasn't an older man with a dodgy memory, was it really?
No, it was a really, really bad look. And if he actually went out there to actually dispel rumors or concerns about his age and his fitness for office, he certainly did not do that at all. In fact, this was a poor effort at stagecraft. And that has been Biden's biggest problem, aside from the fact of his age, is the fact that he simply doesn't allow himself to be handled. And by going out there and allowing and just having reporters scream at you, not only did he look overwhelmed, but he looked confused and he looked like he just simply wasn't up to this. And I think it was just a bad look overall for him. And I think it just allows the questions to continue to grow. And Biden now has a 5-alarm fire on his hand, and he's got to figure out what he's going to do and actually to actually try to dispel concerns that he is actually fit for office.
I mean, Eric, having spent, this week, personal stuff here, this week in a hospital ward with two people in their 80s, I feel desperately sorry for Joe Biden. He is 81, but you can't stop yourself asking the question, if he's not fit to stand trial because of his memory issues, how is he fit to be leader of the free world?
Well, that's a really good question. But I think there are two issues here that we need to focus on. The first issue being just the gratuitous nature of this report and how political it was. We have always known that the Department of Justice has always tried to not play in the political arena, but clearly that's what this report does. And I think that's one issue. The second issue is how and why would the attorney general allow something so political, so polarizing, actually go out to the public? And of course, there is the issue of Biden's age. Now, look, people have been having issues or concerns about Biden's age for quite some time now. In fact, we know that's why his approval rating is so low, in spite of so much that he has gotten done during his time in office. But nevertheless, President Biden has an issue. And also, too, because in the United States, there are so many elderly people, not to mention so many younger people who are taking care of elderly people. This is an issue that I think President Biden should actually lean into, as opposed to trying to somehow convince the American people that he's not actually an old and elderly person.
Eric, you mentioned that it's almost impossible to handle Biden. So what could happen? I mean, could he step down voluntarily, or can he be got rid of against his will?
Neither of those can. Neither of those. I mean, yes, both of those can happen, but neither of those are going to happen. Biden is the nominee for president for the Democratic Party. He will run in the general election unless something dramatic happens. And no, the party is not going to remove him. We already know that he's already won 2 primaries. He's raising enormous amounts of money. But he has some issues. And unlike Donald Trump, who took his biggest weakness, the many legal entanglements, and he's turned those into strengths, Biden has yet to actually attempt to do that with his age. And I think at some point he and his handlers have got to actually decide that this is now the time that we have to turn this into a strict, and they can. They just have to be willing to do it.
Eric, you have a brilliant distraction coming up this weekend. You have the Super Bowl on Sunday night. We discussed this last week, didn't we, young man? And there's a conspiracy theory about Taylor Swift. And you did promise me you'd learn a Taylor Swift song over the past week. So take it away. That's, Eric, thank you so much.
Sorry to disappoint.
You make me smile. Enjoy your weekend in America. May the best team win. Thank you very much. That's Eric Ham, US political analyst there.